ChatGPT just lost the #1 spot on the App Store for the first time ever. Let that sink in. And it's not just the rankings. ChatGPT uninstalls spiked 295% in a single day. OpenAI is running ads inside their product now, which means if you think it's free, it's not. You're paying with your data. Analysts are projecting they burn through their cash by mid-2027. That's not a company playing offense. That's a company surviving. My team and I run AI workflows across dozens of companies every single week. We see what breaks, what scales, and what actually moves the needle. And 6 months ago, I made the call. I switched every single one of those companies over to Claude. And if you stick around till the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to bring everything you've built in ChatGPT, your memory, your context, your entire history, into Claude in under 2 minutes without losing a single thing. Look. Whatever AI tool I choose, it's not just a productivity decision. It becomes the operating system for how my team thinks, communicates, and executes. So I have to pick the right horse. Here's what the numbers actually say. OpenAI is projected to lose $14 billion in 2026. They've got $1.5 trillion in financial commitments, and the revenue isn't there to back it up. Meanwhile, Anthropic, the company that built Claude, their cash burn is dropping every single year. Revenue doubled in the last 12 months, from $10 billion to $20 billion, and they're a third of the size of OpenAI. That means they're more efficient, they're more focused, and they're not making moves out of desperation. And here's the stat that made me go all in. The people at the bleeding edge of AI, the researchers, the engineers, the people who actually build with this stuff every day, they're choosing Claude, not because of the marketing, because of the output. Here's the deal. If you're running a business in America right now and you're still defaulting to ChatGPT out of habit, you are leaving serious money and time on the table. This is the window. Let me show you what's inside. Point 1, Claude Chat. Most people assume it's basically the same as ChatGPT, just a different chat box with a different logo. It's not. Here's what's actually different. Both have massive context windows, 1 million tokens, roughly the same. But it's not the size of the engine, it's how the engine runs. I've had the same 6-liter conversation in both tools. ChatGPT throws everything at the wall and gives you surface-level output that any junior analyst could produce. Claude stays sharp, stays relevant, and it writes like a sharp person on your team wrote it, not like an algorithm spit it out. Think of it like this. 2 cars, same engine size. One's a rental sedan, one's a German sports sedan, same displacement. Completely different driving experience. At Westfield Capital, one of the firms I consult, we process investor intake forms every week. Revenue data, team size, pain points, goals. When we ran those forms through ChatGPT, the analysis was fine, functional, forgettable. When we ran the same forms through Claude, it found correlations between revenue ranges and hiring bottlenecks that we hadn't even thought to look for. It surfaced patterns across 30 applications simultaneously. That's not a chatbot. That's an analyst. Here's something you can do right now. Paste your last 3 client emails into Claude and ask it to identify the underlying concern behind each one. Not what they said, but what they actually meant. Run that same prompt in ChatGPT. Compare the outputs. I'll wait. That one shift alone saved my team about 4 hours a week in client interpretation and back and forth. Point 2, Claude in Chrome. Most people think browser AI tools are gimmicks. Little chat bubbles that pop up and distract you. Wrong. This browser extension, completely free with your Claude account, turns your entire browser into an AI-powered workspace. Claude sits in a panel on the right side of your screen. It sees what you see. It knows what page you're on. It can read your emails, your Google Docs, your Slack threads, your Notion pages, and it can act on them. It's like having a brilliant executive assistant sitting next to you at all times, except they never get tired, never miss context, and never need to be onboarded. Here's a real thing I did last month. I was gone for a week, completely offline. 83 Slack messages waiting when I got back. I opened Claude in Chrome, pointed it at my Slack, told it to find every unanswered message, draft replies in my voice, save them in a spreadsheet so I could review before sending. It did all of it. Nobody on my team noticed I'd been gone. Here's something you can do right now. Open a competitor's website. Click the Claude Chrome extension. Say, pull the pricing, the top 3 features, and the positioning from this page. Watch it read the page, extract everything, and organize it into a clean summary. Then open 2 more competitors and tell Claude to compile all 3 into a comparison sheet. That's an afternoon of competitive research done in 6 minutes. For companies running lean teams, 5 to 15 people, this extension alone is worth 3 to 5 extra hours of capacity per person per week. That's not a productivity tip. That's a hiring decision you don't have to make. And look, we're going to get into some genuinely game-changing territory in the next couple of points. The stuff that can actually replace entire job functions. So if you want my AI workflow cheat sheet, the exact system I use to get twice the output in half the time, just DM me the word system on my bussiness Gmail and I'll send it straight to you. No opt-in page, no funnel, just the cheat sheet. Point 3, Claude Cowork. Claude Chat waits for you to prompt it. Claude Cowork works while you're not watching. This is an agent that operates on your actual computer, not the browser, your desktop. It can open apps, organize files, pull data from multiple sources, build documents, send messages, and now it can run on a schedule. Set it up once, walk away. Remember the infomercial, the air fryer guy? Set it and forget it. That's Cowork. Except instead of chicken, it's your entire Monday morning operations routine. I do a lot of keynote speaking. I've built hundreds of slide decks over the years. Last month, I gave Cowork access to my entire presentation archive, every deck, every layout, every slide structure. Then I gave it the outline for a new talk. That's it. One outline. It went through my archive, found relevant slides, rebuilt the structure, pulled images, wrote the copy, and handed me a first draft that was about 80% done. What used to take me a full day took 40 minutes. Here's something you can do right now. Pick one recurring task you do every Monday. Weekly team update, pipeline summary, client recap. Tell Cowork to pull the relevant files, summarize the key points, and send the recap to your team on Slack. Set it on a schedule. That's a 10-minute task you never do again. Stack 5 of those, and you've reclaimed a full workday every week. Point 4, Claude Code. Here's the one that makes engineers nervous and non-technical people feel like superheroes. Most people think coding tools are for developers. You need to know syntax. You need to understand frameworks. You need to be technical. Wrong. Claude Code is for anyone who has a problem they want solved and can describe it in words. You describe what you want in plain English, Claude builds it. A landing page, a client intake system, an automation that connects your CRM to your invoicing tool, a custom report that pulls data from 3 different sources and emails it to you every Friday. All of it. It's like having a full engineering team on call, except you're directing them, not managing them. You're the CEO, not the coder. I recently shut down my entire company for 2 days. 100 people, completely offline. I brought in outside help, split everyone into small teams, and had each team identify one problem in the business they wanted to solve. By the end of day 2, every single team had built a working tool. One team automated their entire client onboarding flow. Another built a lead scoring system. Another created a weekly reporting dashboard. We solved the biggest operational bottlenecks in the business in 48 hours. And nobody had to write a single line of code. If you were to hire a developer to build what these teams built, you'd be looking at $50,000 to $100,000 in contracts and 3 to 6 months in timelines. We did it in 2 days for free. Here's something you can do right now. Open Claude Code. Describe your most annoying manual process, the thing you do every week that you wish someone else could just handle. Tell Claude to build you a tool that automates it. Be specific. Watch what happens. You're probably thinking to yourself, okay, this sounds great, but I've spent months inside ChatGPT. It knows my voice. It knows my business. It has all my context. I really don't want to start from scratch. I hear you, and that's exactly why this next part exists. Here's how you make the switch without losing anything, and it takes 2 minutes. Go into your Claude settings. Click Capabilities. Click Import Memory from AI Provider. Hit Start Import. Claude gives you a pre-written prompt. Copy it. Go into ChatGPT, paste that prompt. ChatGPT will spit out everything it knows about you, your preferences, your communication style, your business context, your working patterns. Copy that output. Go back to Claude. Paste it into the text box. Click Add to Memory. Done. Everything your old AI learned about you is now inside Claude. All of it. Your voice, your context, your projects, the whole thing, and now you have Claude's full capability stack on top of it. Bonus pro tip. Once you're in Claude, go to connectors and add your Gmail and Google Docs. Then tell Claude, build a Write Like Me skill for my last 50 sent emails and my 10 most recent Google Docs. Watch it analyze your actual writing, your sentence rhythms, your phrasing, the way you open emails, the way you close deals, and turn it into a reusable skill. From that point forward, every time you ask Claude to write something, it writes it in your voice, not a generic AI voice. Yours. Here's my challenge to you, and I mean this. Don't use Claude as a backup. Don't use it as an experiment. Don't use it when you're curious and go back to ChatGPT when you're busy. Use it as your primary tool for the next 7 days. Give it your hardest problems. Give it your messiest projects. Give it the stuff you've been avoiding because it felt too complex to tackle alone. Because here's what I've seen happen, not just with me, but with every CEO and operator I've walked through this. By day 3, you stop feeling like someone who uses AI tools. You start feeling like someone who runs an AI-powered operation. That's a completely different identity, and it changes every decision you make after that. Come back and tell me what changed. I want to know. Leave me a comment right now and tell me this. If you had a full engineering team building custom software for your business and it cost you nothing, what's the first thing you'd have them build? Not a vague answer. Give me the specific tool, the specific problem it solves, and who on your team would use it every day. I read every single one. And if you want the exact AI workflow system my team uses across all our companies, the prompts, the setups, the cheat sheet, DM me the word system on Bussiness Gmail. I'll send it straight to you. No catch. And if this video made you think differently about how AI can actually work inside a real business, not just as a writing tool, but as an operating layer, click right here. Because the next video is going to show you something that's going to completely change how you think about your team structure. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.